What you think I'm shitting for, man? We in here, we back.
We
I
are.
told you we were gonna be back. I told we were gonna spin a block on it. You feel me? It's your boy Lazarus Sander. Yes, and we back with another Laz Reacts, man. Y'all already know. Y'all already know, man. We about to get into another one. So we about to have a good time, man. Well, not necessarily a good time, because the video in question is not necessarily of good character, but
We're still gonna have a good time.
we still gonna have a good time over here at Laz Reacts. That's what we do. You feel me? That's what we do. We gonna have a good time regardless. So welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. All that good stuff. So you can stay tuned on the next reaction and the next piece of content coming through, man. Yes. Anything you want to say, Queen?
Hi, my name's Kennedy. I didn't introduce myself the last time, but I'm Kennedy. This is my husband, Lazarus, and I've just really been enjoying this because I feel like it's been bringing us together more as a married couple, so that's my little 2 cents, I guess.
Yeah, okay, for sure. Let's get into this little reaction here. We're gonna have a good time tonight, bro. Let's get it.
All right, I guess he's ready.
Oh.
That was the right place.
Folks said I should have. You don't get to do that, homeboy.
It's a pretty intense stare.
This is Base Webb, who's facing charges of attempted murder in Paris, Kentucky.
Okay.
A week prior to this, a surveillance video outside a Kentucky jail captured the alarming moment when Webb, a former inmate with a 3-month sentence for assault charges, accelerated his car in an attempt to run over 2 jail employees. One of the employees narrowly avoided the vehicle, but the other suffered injuries as Webb's car pinned him against a wall. However shocking his crimes were, wait till you see how Webb handled himself in court. During Webb's initial court appearance, presided over by Judge Vanessa Dixon, his disruptive behavior persisted.
Tell him something, Judge.
Before the proceedings continued, Judge Dixon informed Webb that she recused herself from the trial due to her acquaintance with the targeted jail employees, and because she simply didn't want to see Webb at all.
Dang, she said that's gang. Hey. She had said,
you can take yourself off the case, but he said not only because they were friends, but also because she just didn't want to see him. I wish I could do that in my job. Like,
critical out here, man. Yeah. Critical out here. Dang, she said you messing with gang. I can't even mess with you. See, I could be on that and really, you know what I'm saying, give you that book, you feel me? I could give you that book. But what I'm not gonna do is play into your little mind game. See, she was smart. She said she thinking big. She was thinking big. You feel me? Thinking big. She wasn't thinking small. See, some of y'all be thinking small. You got to think big. You feel me? She wasn't thinking small. She was thinking big. She say, I know the type of guy you is. See, you the type. If you the type of guy to try to run over 2 officers at the precinct, boy, what you think you think he give a damn about?
Like, what else are you capable of?
Man, say shorty. Hey, man, let go ahead and get back into this either way.
This is where things got a little crazy. Just in case you missed that, we'll slow it down for you. Webb literally spits on the judge. Not the brightest move to disrespect the person who was responsible for your freedom or continued incarceration. In fact, immediately after being spat on, Judge Dixon orders to charge him. However, things didn't end here for Bass, because only a short period after this incident,
we'll drop the price of your flight so you can decide
all
when
I
to
know,
book.
folks. Folks built different. That is all I know.
You
Man.
even skip the ads, guys.
Alright, sorry about that, y'all.
While awaiting trial,
Let's get back to it.
along with 4 other inmates, incited a riot at the Fayette County Detention Center. During this chaotic event, Webb was shot with beanbag bullets and struck in...
Not a beanbag bullet. I thought they was just rubber bullets. I didn't know it was a beanbag.
I mean, even still, did they just say folks went from the courthouse back to the jail and incited a riot?
Yeah.
What kind of man? Hey, look, you dealing with some grade A like super villain right here. Like this is not normal, my boy. This man said for real. Like, I mean, after the judge, she said charge him. Look, you would think he'd be like, man, like I'm out here. Like, dang, okay, I gotta chill out a little bit. She just, man, bro said I'm going all the way. Like, you know what? Forget all the way. I'm going past all the way. You feel me? You had infinity and beyond. This is beyond. You feel me? So this don't make no sense. Bro got back to jail and turned up even worse than when he was in court.
Well, probably because he just got charged. The judge charged him for spitting on her, so maybe he was mad about that, I guess.
And then on top of that, they shooting mans with big. You know what? We gonna watch.
Neck by a pepper ball. Undeterred, he proceeded to hurl a metal telephone box at a corrections officer. Fast forward to Bass's next courtroom hearing. This time, in addition to his previous 2 counts of attempted murder related to his vehicular attack on the jail employees, Bass is also facing 3rd-degree assault charges for his involvement in the riot. However, if you thought the story of Bass Webb ends here, you're deeply mistaken. Because now we fast forward 5 years later, and Bass is once again in court. This time, Bass is facing charges for the murder of an ex-girlfriend from almost a decade earlier, Bria Lewis. Interestingly enough, Bria had been studying...
Folks, we ain't even 3 minutes in...
Not they didn't even know about that one.
We not even 3 minutes in.
Hey.
This is just number 1 we watching here. Does it, man, say, bro, stay in school, okay? Stay out them streets. The sidewalks is better, y'all.
To become a law enforcement officer and was a Bourbon County Jail employee at the time of her murder. A cold case was resurrected following a jailhouse tip that led to the discovery of the victim's remains. During this particular court appearance, Webb showcased a shocking new appearance adorned with sinister head tattoos. These tattoos unveiled a
he ain't go in with those
list targeting judges.
He ain't go in with those.
Law enforcement officers and the media. As the courtroom proceedings began taking place, so did Webb's antics.
Webb, come forward.
Here we see the judge ask Webb to come forward and stand. Instead, Webb decides he would rather not and smiles at the request. Following over a week of courtroom proceedings, the jury reached a verdict, finding Webb guilty of intentional murder. The trial provided details of how Webb choked his former girlfriend to death and buried her in a shallow grave. Bass received a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Bass Webb is a prime example of a convict acting crazy in court. However, 100-mile-per-hour car chases might even...
Before we
got
even...
the chance of parole.
Literally, that's what I... Folks still got the chance of parole? Hey, say, man. What 50 say? You get the same for 10 bodies you get for 1. Hey, man. That's all. Hey, that's all I'm saying, man. Bro out here living that life. I mean, he ain't... I don't know. Cause like I say, he ain't go in that mug with the tattoos. He came back to court reinvigorated with a whole new energy and spirit of hatred.
Well, yeah, that's true. It was probably already there, but like, it sparked it even more, maybe.
I mean, like the evolution of criminal that what was Mr. Webb? Don't get caught up in his. That's all I'm saying. Either way, let's go ahead and get back to this, G, because
considered to be a little more crazy, like in the infamous case of Ryan Stone, who was facing multiple charges, including attempted manslaughter in Denver, Colorado. In March 2014, Ryan embarked on a crime spree that extended across 5 counties and was broadcasted live by a news station's helicopter. The chase itself was nothing short of chaotic. Stone can be seen forcefully stealing 2 vehicles, one of which had a 4-year-old child inside it. According to authorities, Stone's escape led law enforcement on a high-speed pursuit, surpassing speeds of 100 miles per hour. If you watch closely, you'll see the vehicle Stone was driving collide with a Colorado State Patrol trooper. Trooper Bellman had been trying to deploy stop sticks when Stone's vehicle collided with him. This incident resulted in multiple broken bones. This is when things got crazy. Only minutes later, the broadcast would film Stone forcibly removing another individual from their vehicle.
dang, bro. Hey, GTA ain't got nothing.
Transitioned to a foot pursuit after Stone crashed the hijacked car in the middle of an intersection. Stone sought refuge in a parking lot where he encountered slippery ice, causing him to lose his jacket. His path was soon obstructed by an insurmountable fence. Eventually, law enforcement closed in on Stone, and he ultimately surrendered. The chase lasted a grueling 1.5 hours during the morning rush hour. However shocking the case was, wait till you see how Ryan acted during his trial. Ryan was facing multiple offenses, including attempted manslaughter, first-degree assault, and child abuse. That didn't seem to faze Ryan. Instead, prosecutors played jail phone recordings where Stone seemed to enjoy the chase and boasted about the global attention.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah.
He was excited.
I made the news in the UK and Australia.
Nah, that was
If you
nice
type in
stuff,
on
dude.
YouTube, my shit comes up first.
Stone even
That's
mentioned
why I
that
just said
YouTube
that. Why I just said,
compensates
Grand Theft
individuals
Auto,
for videos
man.
like his, and declared his intention to contact Channel 7 News to demand payment.
You get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News, or have you contact Channel 7 News or somebody, a lawyer. So, hey, look, I want to get paid.
When appearing before Judge Paul King of the Duck.
Folks, wow. Wow. Mr. Hey, man. I said this was going to be a good one. But this is bad, man. Cause what, hey, where's y'all mamas at? Where's y'all daddies at?
Why is that always his first question?
Who raised y'all?
Where people's parents are at.
Who raised y'all? Man, say, son. Hey, look. This a heart to heart right here. Mr. Stone.
Oh my gosh.
Get your together, brother. Hey, say, man. We not. No. This fool said, like he went on YouTube, made a page about the high speed. Like, come on, man. You can't be serious.
This county district, Ryan broke down, blaming his crimes on drugs and asking him for a lesser sentence because he wants to start a family with his wife.
I can start a family of my own. With an abuseful wife.
Ryan's attempt at appearing remorseful in court did not mix after the court saw the videos of him bragging about his virality to a friend. The judge handed down a staggering...
Good girl.
I want to hear that
Feminine
sentence.
fragrance. Carolina Herrera.
Going on an EF trip,
You
I
know how
only
that
advise women
go,
to speak to it.
160-year prison sentence.
Oh my god. He didn't even kill anybody though.
I mean, attempted manslaughter, close enough, they said. They said close enough. They wasn't about to give him a chance. But I think because how fool made a fool of himself.
Well, yeah, that didn't help.
Whole goofball, man. Hey, say, you can't be that goofy.
160 years. Wow.
Can you even serve that much time, my boy? They passing down sentences to your seed, boy.
What if that happened?
Bro, what if
they did that?
Wouldn't life be think about that.
Imagine
wouldn't
if
life
your
be
kid
different?
had to finish serving the time that you didn't finish because you died.
Come out the womb, they like, yep, we'll take him. We'll take her. Child, like, on some real life Batman, if you know what I'm talking about, the Bane. Born it, man.
I mean, it'd be wrong, obviously, because two different people, like, that child didn't ask to.
But if Judge handed out sentences like that, Mr. Stone obviously did something wrong. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't understand why they do stuff like that. And, like, even when I was a kid, like, especially if you've ever watched, like, Law and Order, like, SVU and stuff, then people be getting, like, 120 years, and then 40 more years, and then 30 more years after. And I'm like, I asked my dad, I was like, he's clearly never going to get it. Like, what was the point of saying that he has 5 consecutive life sentences? And he was like, basically that's going to guarantee, but he's never going to get out.
Boy,
there's no loophole that you can get through for 5 life sentences.
They want you to be within the evolutionary blueprint and upgrades to the prison is what they saying. They want your spirit and essence to stay within those walls and to be built within the new frame of work for the new evolution of goofballs in the future. So keep that in mind when y'all out here doing the goofiness. You feel me? It ain't good for nobody.
Don't brag to your friend on the prison phone. Yeah.
That man, like, he said he got cojones. Like, look at him now. Oh, he want to have kids and have family. He won't be starting that family. Not at least.
Won't.
Not about to say.
So.
Yeah, she might. She dang sure might. But he might be starting another kind of family. That just might be what it is. We ain't gonna talk about it though.
No parole eligibility for 75 years.
This guy is a menace, and he is gone from us now, and we are better for it.
Ryan's behavior and reactions drew people to this case. However, he's not even our craziest convict, because next, we have a case that features 2 brutal teenage murderers in Antonio Barbo and Nathan Pop, who are facing charges for murder in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin. The 2 teenagers brutally killed Barbo's great-grandmother, 78-year-old Barbara Olson, in her Sheboygan Falls home in September 2012. According to police reports, Barbo struck her several times with a hatchet, as his accomplice, Nathan Pop, simultaneously used a hammer to bludgeon 78-year-old Olson to death. Only minutes after the attack, the boys would be seen on surveillance footage getting gloves and wipes, almost acting as if nothing had happened. However brutal the slaying was, wait till you hear how they justified the murder.
How much money was there in your cash?
About, I think, 150.
And where is that?
Some of it went towards food, and then we got pizza, and then some of it went towards weed, which I think is actually still at his house upstairs, if he didn't get it yet.
That's right. You heard that correctly. The boys decided to murder Barbara Olson for money to buy pizza and weed. Watch here as surveillance footage captured the boys just hours later, enjoying a couple slices, almost acting as if they hadn't just committed a murder. During the trial, Barbo entered a plea of no contest to first-degree intentional homicide. This plea was part of a deal that reduced his charge. Previously, Barbo had pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, but he changed his plea in this proceeding as a result. Barbo was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 36 years, by which time he would be 50 years. When given the opportunity to address the court, Barbo struggled to express himself and could not complete his statement.
I know I don't show my emotions much, and I myself am not sure why, but that doesn't mean I don't.
His lawyer stepped in and finished on his behalf.
I took away someone's mother, their grandma, sister, friend, when I had no right
As he was escorted out of the court, Anthony can be seen crying and sobbing. His accomplice, Nathan, was also sentenced to life imprisonment and will not be eligible for parole until he turns 45. He showed no emotion as he was seen leaving the court. What makes Barbo and Pop's case so shocking is because they were barely teenagers at just 14 years old. However, other cases went viral because of rather unusual rulings, like the case of Susan Marie Mellon, a woman who spent a staggering 17 years in prison for a crime she didn't commit. She was allegedly involved in the beating to death of Richard Daly, a homeless man. At 42 years old, she was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
How y'all feel? You get locked up for a crime you didn't commit for however many some years.
I don't even think there's an amount of money to replace. Like, that is completely different. Like, in that sense, money will never buy happiness for that person. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that they can't make the rest of their life or whatever good, but, like, there's no amount of money that you can repay someone, even for a year, even for a day, bro, if they did not commit that crime. And there are so many people that that's the case. And it's like, I don't know if y'all remember, but, like, I mean, I don't mess with Kim K, but, like, she really was one taking on cases of people that were, like, wrongfully convicted or they were defending themselves. And I would say if I went into law, I would probably do something like that, because I don't think people realize how many people truly are in prison and jail for stuff they did not do. Like, there are people that have been locked up since the 70s that didn't commit a crime and are still in prison right now. But because whatever it was wasn't big enough, because Kim, honestly, in my opinion, was only taking the bigger cases of people that, you know, oh, she clearly didn't do, like, she was only taking the big cases. But even still, the girl that she got out served like 17 years in prison. Like, no amount of money is going to bring back 17 years of your younger life. Like, come on, like, you don't get younger, you get older. So imagine you get locked up at 18, you didn't commit the crime, they let you out at 46. You just missed, I mean, your whole early adult life. So, like, in
your
that
whole
case,
life at that point.
Yeah, so in that case, it puts those people behind, in my opinion. I feel like it leaves their mind in the state of wherever they, not that they would commit another crime. Clearly they didn't commit a crime, but, like, even if they did and they got out at 40, 50, that mindset is still at 20.
Yeah.
They didn't get to mature. So it's just, I hate seeing cases like this. It's very sad. It shows how broken the system is still. There are other ways to prove that too, but this right here is wrong.
Yeah, no, even then, on the last case with the two guys, man, that was messed up. I ain't want to not acknowledge that, because
that was ridiculous.
That was messed up,
for
man.
Pizza and
pizza
treat.
and that's not the way to be, man. And now them boys sitting, they probably still like, hey, some of these I wasn't like, even then, the thing, like, man, some of these people still out there. Either way,
I mean, they definitely should, but they murdered someone willingly. There was nothing wrong with them, and they still get the chance of parole. Yeah, we can see people, you know, accused for crimes they didn't do, or for petty, like, weed charges, and they're locked up for 20 years, no chance of parole, nothing. They're gonna have to serve all 18 max, you know, like, but these boys killed somebody, didn't care, ate food, bought stuff with the person that they killed's money. And they only get 30. They're gonna both get out by the time they're 50. You can still do something with your life. As much as I know I just said that about the other people, but they did that on purpose. So they should, like, you know, they still could go and live their life if they wanted to. And they're still men. If they wanted to have kids, they could go do it.
For sure. Let's get back into it, y'all. Wow, this is definitely a wild video. Just, I don't know if I did say it at the beginning of the video, but just even on the reaction side, we do not own any rights to the video. This is another person's channel. Shout out to Courtroom Consequences, for sure. Definitely want to give credit where credit is due, because this is wild. I was not. This key, and I said it too. I didn't think it was gonna keep escalating, but it did. Let me get back into it.
She's seen here in an interrogation begging a detective to believe she's innocent and didn't commit the crimes she's accused of.
Anyway, I'm gonna get, are you sick or injured? Do you have any medical problems? Okay, well, I'm gonna put you. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm talking homicide. A man was murdered. All right.
Susan was found guilty based on the testimony of an informant who was later discovered to be a habitual liar.
From my heart, that's all. I would never do that to anybody. I didn't hate her because I would never let anybody just that I hated her. I still, I had feelings for the man. He was good to me. He was good to me. He was good to my kids.
During Susan.
Hey, it's your dry skin. Help me stay hydrated.
That's even more messed up. On another person word.
Expedia.
On another person word.
All in one place.
The death penalty they shall
Download the app
immediately.
Interrogation, she was persistent on the fact that she was innocent and could never be a murderer. However, Detective Wynn from the LAPD didn't believe her. In fact, she was so certain Susan murdered Rick, she arrested Susan for murder before her interrogation was even over. With no one else to listen to her, Susan turned to God and prayed she wasn't actually going to be arrested for a murder she did not commit. Fast forward 17 years, Susan is 59 years old and about to be exonerated in a Torrance courthouse.
The petition is granted, the judgment is vacated, the conviction is overturned, and as to Miss Mellon, the case is dismissed.
Watch as she is instantly met with tears of joy and an outpouring of emotions. As she hugged her grandchild for the first time, she said she had always believed the truth would come to light someday.
I even wrote freedom on the bottom of my tennis shoes with a black marker because I believe I was going to be free.
She never lost faith and maintained her conviction that she would walk free one day. Now that the day had arrived, she couldn't contain her happiness and even broke into a joyful dance. As Susan embraced her family, she forgave those who wrongly imprisoned her, emphasizing the importance of forgiving even one's enemies. She eagerly anticipated sharing a McDonald's Happy Meal with her youngest daughter, reminiscent of the day they couldn't have one due to her arrest.
The reason my freedom wasn't in me. I always felt like I was free on the inside. Well, I mean, I'm still kind of in shock. I don't know if it still hasn't hit me. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be a miserable lifer. I knew I was going to go home.
Is that your first cell phone?
Yeah, I never had one. I don't even know how to turn it on. I'm free!
Exonerations are not frequent. However, Susan Mellon isn't the only person whose exoneration case went viral. There's the case of Daniel Villegas,
I
who spent
remember
18
this.
years in prison for a double homicide he never committed. At the young age of 16, Daniel was convicted and has been behind bars since. On April 10th, 1993, Armando Mando Lazo, 17, and Bobby England, 18, along with two other individuals, were walking home from a house party when a car approached them slowly and sped away. Witnesses reported that the car turned around and came back toward the group, eventually stopping. Someone from the back seat opened fire, tragically killing Lazo and England. However, the story doesn't end there. You're probably wondering how Daniel became a suspect to the case in the first place. Well, as it turns out, there was actually no physical evidence linking Daniel to the crime in the first place.
Break it!
No
Hey!
He got locked up at 16. I remember this case. I watched this video of just this case
said
alone.
No evidence whatsoever.
I cried so hard because this is ridiculous. He was 16. Man. Imagine you're a sophomore walking with your friends home. Not only do you have to process that your two friends just got murdered in front of you, but now you're accused of killing your two best friends.
Hey.
And you didn't even do it. And you're a sophomore in high school.
That's so... Oh my goodness, I can't even find the words. How? No, my biggest thing, and I'm a big law guy myself. You know, I like my little detectiveness and, you know, all that good stuff. Batman, my boy, you feel me? Shout out to Batman, either way. No evidence whatsoever linking him, and we went ahead and put this man, you put him like through a lifestyle, like 18 is when we become adults. He didn't even turn 18 and got 18 years? You mean to tell me he was in prison, jail, whatever, however you want to label it, longer than he was a kid? Yeah, man. Say, this world, man, we gotta work. We gotta do some work. I gotta.
Found no firearms retrieved and no forensic evidence linking him to the case at all. He was convicted based on the testimony of a friend who claimed he confessed the crime to him.
This was a reliable witness in 2014 who told the detectives, I asked him if he did it, and he said yes.
And 16-year-old Villegas was brought in for questioning. An El Paso detective threatened him with beatings and the death penalty unless he confessed to the murder. Under duress, the teenage Villegas signed a prepared confession from the detectives. He attempted to withdraw his confession a few hours later, but it was already too late. Villegas was charged with 2 counts of capital murder, with the false confession being the sole evidence against him. After spending 18 years behind bars, his verdict was eventually overturned, and Villegas was released on bond. He got married and started a family during this time. However, a third trial awaited him, which would determine his fate. Finally, the moment arrived, and Villegas stood in the courtroom, uncertain if he would return home to his family or be sent back to prison for life. Watch as the judge delivers the news to Daniel that his 18-year-long nightmare was finally over.
In the District Court of El Paso County, Texas, 409th Judicial District, the state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas, number 94 0D09328.
The El Paso jury found him not guilty of capital murder, marking his true freedom since his teenage years.
Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
See, them words right there, they hit different. Them words right there, they hit different. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's well deserved, man. That the fact that he had to go through that, not at all what was needed, but
and the fact that they only let him out on bond, because that's why he had to have a third trial to determine if he was gonna go back.
But Allah Akbar, man, truly, alhamdulillah, because yeah.
Daniel was incarcerated for a total of 23 years, 6 months, and 11 days. Daniel's case is guaranteed to bring out your emotional side. However, not all courtroom proceedings gain attention because of the feel-good factor. There is the disturbing case of Nico Jenkins, who is facing charges after...
Should we do a part 2? We're already at 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that engagement, that attention span be short nowadays.
Yeah, that's maybe we might have to spin back on this one. You feel me? Because this some.
We're definitely gonna do a part 2, but y'all gotta come back for the part 2.
Yeah, that part 2 gonna be.
If you want the rest of our tea and opinion, because obviously I know you can go and we've already given you the YouTube names.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Hey, as stated once before, we don't own any rights to the video. Shout out to Courtroom Consequences. But yeah, as the missus said, we gonna go ahead and hit y'all with a part deuce. The deuce. You feel me? The deuce. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead, hit it 2 times and get back with y'all, man. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're sharing the content, because I know you want your people to be informed. You feel me? And make sure, most importantly, you subscribe to the channel with that notification bell turned on so you can stay updated, man. We gonna come back with more content. We told you what it was. Now it's up for you to peep gang. You see what I'm saying? Either way, we gonna have different avenues, different things going on. But y'all gonna peep. Y'all gonna peep. Let's get back to it. Let's go ahead, show love to one another. Yeah. Tell those that you love that you love them. And stay out of trouble. Laz Reacts. Man, it's been another one. It's your boy Lazarus Xander with the Queen.
Kennedy, me.
Yeah, that way. And we gonna catch y'all in another one. Laz Reacts. We out.